What's up, YouTube? In this video, we're going to be talking about David Steinberg's recent interview with Basis Points. He covered a bunch of huge topics and actually released a bombshell on this one, so I can't wait to get into it with you guys. Before we get into it, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button if you guys enjoy and want more of this content. With that being said, let's get right into it. So the first thing David talked about in this interview was about how Zeta is differentiated from a lot of legacy players. He talks about how legacy players are built on traditional architecture. And so when they go out and they get this data, by the time it comes back to the platform, it takes a lot of delayed time. There's a lot of time lost and it ruins ROI. Now, Zeta, on the other hand, because they are built on machine learning in their data, they get thousands of signals right away, thousands more than what these competitors are seeing, and that helps the return on investment excel their competitors, and that's why they can't compete, because in order to have a model like Zeta does, they have to completely strip that away. And so that was very insightful when he broke that down to us, because I honestly always thought they could start their own machine learning training and just start collecting data and potentially catch up to their model. But pretty much he laid it out like you're going to have to tear your business apart and start from scratch and rebuild it in order to get the model that they have built with their data. The second thing David talked about was the SaaS apocalypse. And he mentioned that he believes companies that are working with data are not going to be able to be replaced by AI because you're never going to want to take that data and put it into an LLM. Companies are just not going to do that because how LLMs work, when you feed it data, it remembers it, and it's open source. People don't want their information inside of those. And so that's why that will never happen. So data is like the big moat here for Zeta. And the other thing he talked about are SaaS companies who are working in AI workflows in their business will also win. And he talked about some of the workflows that they have. He mentioned Zippy and another one in which it tells them which language model is best for which project they are going to code. And so if they believe, Claude is better to code one thing and then ChatGPT might be better for the next, it lets them save on tokens. And so they are wasting less money by, you know, essentially vibe coding this thing. And so when you leverage AI to find ways to save on cost, it's only working to these companies' benefits. And that's the future right there. So companies who can build in AI workflows into their business, but also they have a data moat. That's what he was talking about being the moat for these SaaS companies. But the ones that are built on traditional architecture and they aren't working in AI, or it can easily be replaced by AI because of AI workflows, those are the ones that are going to struggle and have issues. David discussed their acquisition of Marigold. Something I thought was interesting is the companies under the Marigold umbrella, the ones they purchased were Cheetah Digital, Celligent, Salad Through, I don't know if I'm saying that wrong, Live Clicker, and Marigold Loyalty. He said that multiple of those businesses he tried acquiring just by themselves multiple times. He said specifically Cheetah Digital, he tried acquiring 3 times for more money than what they ended up paying for Marigold in total. A big reason they got this discount was actually because of some debt refinancing they had, and the interest caught up to them, and they were just looking for a buyout. And he even said that they had other businesses under the umbrella they tried getting them to originally purchase, but they didn't want to because it was more for the small business umbrella, and Zeta doesn't want to work in small business. They're just big business. So they absolutely got a huge discount on Marigold. And he talked about how Celigent is going to be big for their 10 billion revenue goal. That's going to help a lot in their Europe expansion. Then you also have the loyalty program, in which he said that is helping them achieve a specific client's massive ROIs as they get more information on uh, customer spending with different companies and how to target them. The other thing he mentioned, and I've said this a lot on X for those who follow me, you guys might have heard me say this before, but he was asked how he thinks Zeta would survive in a bad macro environment, and his response was, well, clients are always going to go to the best ROI in those situations. So actually, a bad macro is really good for us because it's going to lead into more customer acquisition as people look for where they can get the most ROI when money's tight. And that's something I've been preaching for a while. So to hear him say it, it was good to hear, even though it was something like it just always made sense. If money's tight, that doesn't change anything. You're still going to need to advertise. So what's next? Who can help me successfully um, advertise and return most on my dollar? Well, right now that answer is Zeta, and so uh, in a tough macro, it only makes sense for more clients to come to Zeta or spend more money with them where they're getting the best return. He was also asked about the OpenAI partnership. He mentioned how not Zeta, Athena would help Zeta become the operating system inside these enterprise clients. He also talked about the GEO and marketing with OpenAI and how it was huge because they get their API, and this is going to help with their GEO business. So he seemed overall super excited. There still wasn't much there because we're all aware of where we think Athena's going and that it was just launched for agencies, which is 20% of Zeta's business. So that's also big because I haven't said that here on YouTube. I posted on X. So for those who don't follow me on X, I'll drop it on the screen right now. But we already knew all that information, so there was nothing really too new to talk about. Okay, and so the seventh thing was the biggest one by far. On the podcast, he said that they had signed three of their five largest clients in the last few weeks. And this is big because this just shows Q2 is setting up to be another absolutely explosive quarter. And so I'm really excited what this looks like in the financials because I want to say in Q1 he had stated they signed their biggest client ever. Now, we haven't been told that they signed their biggest client ever here in Q2, but three of the five biggest, I'm going to assume there's a chance that one of them might be the biggest client ever. Um, and this all points towards the success of Athena. Um, and I really do believe that is a big driving factor of the insane acquisition of clients we've been seeing. So I'm really excited to get that Q2 print. I think we could see another 42-45% growth quarter. So it's going to be exciting, especially as we scale. I mentioned a little bit earlier in this video, 10 billion in revenue is the goal, in which I actually personally I feel like that's a low ball, and I don't know if that's like his end goal. But I was like, when he said that, I was like, what do you mean like 10 billion a year, 2.5 billion a quarter? Based on what I know about this business, I don't think that's the limit. Um, so let me know if you guys agree or disagree when you guys think of Zeta and he hypes it up as, business intelligence and marketing's where we're starting because it's a 1 trillion TAM. Do you actually think 10 billion is the end goal, or that's just, their far out goal for now? Because I look at their 2028 projections and I think that's really possible to achieve in 2027 based off the growth we've been seeing. And you mentioned, I want to say it's 4 quarters in a row of organic growth increasing. And we'll see if that continues to increase. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up if you guys did like it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want more content like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video.